Okay, this is what we've got so far on the workbench. The top is almost complete. The outside of this is 5 inches thick, dovetailed corners. The center of it is well over 3 inches, almost 3.5 inches thick. So it's very solid. Not sure on the weight. I'm guessing 350 pounds as it sits. It is 8 feet long and 30 inches wide with a center till. I've got a end vise down here that roll this thing out some. I don't have a handle in it yet on this one. In fact, this is the handle right here. That's the handle. Doesn't look like it. That's some spalted maple. The knobs on the end of the handle. Be making that next. We do have bench dogs on here. This is, I need to make up some bench dogs. This is just a prototype with a wood spring. I've got 3 dogs on the tail vise that are raked at 5 degrees facing the rest of these. These are all at 5 degrees facing the vise. So I can stick these in here. They'll go under flush so they're not in the way. You can pop them up, set them at whatever height you want. Grab a chunk of wood here, throw something on there, run the vise down. If I had handle, it'd be a little quicker. And it's not going anywhere. And it's nice. You can set it for any length piece of wood or handle you're working on. You can also pinch something in here. I'm going to coat this, both layers here, with leather. Same down here. I've got some leather I'm going to put on that. Till 6 inches wide, and it is the full 3 and I think it's 3 5/16 deep. And so what we did is, what I did is I breadboarded the ends. You can see the dowels in here holding the breadboard on. These outside holes are tight, and in fact all of these pins on the end are draw pins. So what I did is I drilled a hole through the breadboard cap, and I drilled a hole through the breadboard end of the table itself inward, almost 1/8 of an inch, and then hammered those in so it drew this in to tighten that joint. These inner 2 are actually slotted. So the idea is this joint here will stay tight. This will allow for expansion through the center. You can see there's some gap on the till just to allow for expansion. Same thing here. This is slotted. So as this expands, it'll come inward. The till bottom is actually clamped from underneath. It has about 1/4 inch on either side of it so it can expand itself and the table can expand over it. I got a front vise. It's a quick release. So got about 12 inches of travel. Does a nice job. It's not very, it racks a lot. So if you don't center up your piece of wood, it will move around on you. But, I mean, it does the job. Kind of hard to play one-handed. See if I can get a good shaving off here. Not too bad. Just a piece of pine. So, with the till's nice, I made it 6 inches so I even got my number 7 in here. it clears in case I'm working on something. I don't have to worry about it. I do need to finish the ramp on this end. I did make this ramp today, which is actually just pinned in from underneath. I use these dowels here, so if I need to pull it out and clean that underneath. And the intent is to do the same down here. Just been playing with it, but I do have to have this one a little bit higher because I lifted the vise up. I wanted that screw up as high as I could get into the table. I didn't want it down below to try to keep this from racking in this direction as I tighten stuff up. So I wanted it up as high as I could. So it did come up into the till area, which is fine. I'm just going to, the idea is to make a stepped ramp. These aren't going to sit for me, but something along that line. So same thing, I'll have a couple dowels in there so I can pop it out when I need to, and either service the vise or clean under it. I know stuff's going to get stuck underneath there. So, and one of the things I did is I kept the vise inside the end cap here. I don't know if I should have or not. A lot of guys run their vise right out to this corner, which I know for cutting, hand sawing, things like that, probably would have been a good idea, but I don't know. I just love seeing these dovetails. So we'll deal with it. I can always move it, or I can make a bigger jaw. So the idea is to use these two vices, and then eventually I'm going to add a third one over on this corner. So this one here will be for doing longer boards. I shouldn't say this corner, it's the far corner. The idea is to have 3 different workstations. It will be in the center of the shop, which is filthy right now. But that way I can set up 3 different operations, you know, for whatever I'm working on, and I don't have to keep tearing things down and resetting them up. I can leave them set up and move my way around the bench. So I don't know if we can get a shot from underneath. I will try it. You can see the dog sticking down. Here's the bottom of the end vise. You can see the full 5 inches thick on the outside edge. And like I say, the 3 3/8 or 3 5/16, whatever the center is, thick. I tried to make these decently wide here so I could use clamps along the bottom edge. And again, the track here, which is just screwed on in case I need to pop this till bottom out, change it for any reason. And like I said, there's a good 1/4 inch on either side here at least to allow this whole system to expand. And we'll take a look at the other end. In fact, you can see the gap down here. If I can get my finger up there, right there. And on the other side, you can see some of the mill work I did on here. This was a fun job of relieving that material to fit that vise in there. And what's nice is if you look at how the vise is recessed in there, I still kept the original piece on the front, so at the full 5 inches, so it that worked out real well. So, and then the knobs, it's the maple knobs, piece of firewood that I found in the log pile outside to make the knobs for the end of the handles. And that's about it. I think I've got a total of probably about $300 into this, between the hardware for the vices, I think was the largest expense. Well, I should say the wood. The wood was actually a truckload of miscuts from I'm assuming it was a flooring company where it was headed to, but it was just a bunch of maple miscuts, anything from 1/4 inch thick to 1.5 inch thick, all the way up to 16 foot long. And I bought a truckload, or a pickup truck load, for $100. And so everything you see here is milled and laminated, all 4 sides. So that's why you see there's so much lamination, because by the time I got done, there wasn't, I don't think, one board that was actually 1 inch thick. So I've gone through a good $30 in wood glue, but come out pretty nice. That's it.